All right, so just wanted to run over this with you, and I decided to just do a video because I love doing videos. So um, here is, as you can see, my loadouts here, and I labeled it last stand because obviously it's the last stand loadout. So um, first the guns, we talked about that yesterday. Lavoa C, lightweight M4, best guns to have. As you can see, mine's hitting at 24.1. I think yours was at 17 something for the gun you were using. So, and then as you can see, the RPM 850 plus 47 because of the mags and stuff in there that have the reload speed and whatnot. Rate of fire, I think it was, not reload speed. Um, but on my gun, I have competent, adept, and responsive. And then on my lightweight, I have adept, deadly, and hurried. Hurried is another one that some people like, and it's just basically crit hits increase reload speed by 10% to a maximum of a 1 second reload time. So you get like a 1 second reload time, which is really fast. But this gun, it had the adept on it, and hurried was something I was willing to try, and it was in the free slot, so I was just like, well, just keep it. And so I rolled this for deadly. I think I tried out something else like competent or something like that, but you don't want to get into where you need to use a skill to proc your stuff, like the adept. Using a skill increases that. When you're not using a skill, you're not getting that extra boost. So deadly is good because you're always getting that crit hit damage whether you have a skill going or not. And I think that's why I went with deadly on this gun versus competent. Responsive would be good because it's in your face. Um, but that's what I have on those two guns, and you can see the crit hit chance on the SMG is 20.5 and then damage is 20.8, and the damage being 20.8 on that and 24.1, that varies from your firearms number up there. So my firearms top left 7290, stamina 3342, electronics 4274. You want to, that's kind of the ballpark for those numbers. And again, that's to unlock these talents. So as you can see, competent takes 2874 firearms, which I crushed. The electronics 3832, and I have 4274. I love electronics. Electronics to me is where it's at. So let's take a look at the quick stats here. So on my Lavoa, my crit hit chance is 19.5, and then crit hit damage and headshot damage are 88. Um, and the other thing I'll point out here is my skill haste is 27, which is just below where I like it to be, but it works for this character. And now I'll equip my lightweight, my SMG. And the SMG, you can see the crit hit chance is 47.5, and then crit hit damage 86 and 62. And the skill haste is going to be the same. So let's get into the build real quick here. So um, as you can see, the pieces, the vest is electronics, the mask is firearms, knee pad firearms, glove firearms, backpack firearms. Holster is always going to be all four. So first with the, and you know, just because I have electronic vest doesn't mean you have to have an electronic vest. You could have an electronic backpack and have a firearms vest. It's just one piece needs to be electronics for you to get the numbers up high enough so you can unlock the talents you need to get to the 3832. Otherwise, it's going to be too low and you'll never be able to unlock those talents, even adding mods. So hopefully that makes sense. So the vest electronics, it's a vigorous chest piece. It's got health and skill haste on it. And the mod is a 267, 3% skill haste firearms with a stamina 265, 3% skill haste. So that's where I'm getting my skill haste from. I got 9 on the vest, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's my 15% right there just on the vest. How much did I have? Didn't I only have 15 or no, 27? Okay, so that's still a good chunk of it. Um, the mask is a Pharaoh's mask, and that is where the user can run and shoot their weapon while burning. And it used to be the Seekers would use the Fire Seekers and the fire turrets, so you would be able to run and shoot. You still go down usually, but you could at least shoot a couple of rounds and may get lucky depending on how damaged they are. And I have crit hit chance rolled on this. And the mod inside is an electronics with skill haste. You can see it better here. Electronics with skill power. I'm sorry, I said skill haste, but it's skill power. Knee pad, short bows, fuse time on grenade, pretty much 0.20 seconds, which is as soon as it hits, it's blowing up. That's really good. And then I have health up there because you need health numbers. You want to have a toughness around 300. I got 303. That's so you're not too squishy. And then again, I have electronic and skill haste mod in there. And then all mods are always going to be 6.0 first aid self heal. Backpack, specialized, adds 200% firearms and stamina to skill power. So that gives you a good boost in your skill power because it's taking 200% of that firearms and stamina. And then I also have health, which is, to get me up to that 300 toughness. And then I have another stamina mod, skill haste, and then two 6.0 self heals. The gloves, these are those Skull MC gloves. You got to pair them. Firearms is the roll, and then I re-rolled and got assault rifle damage on them because that's what I use most of the time. And then I have crit hit chance and crit hit damage up here, which helps those numbers go up. These are like, they're not a god pair of gloves, but in the sense of major attributes with the assault rifle, a crit hit chance and crit hit damage, that makes it god roll. The 1236 in the firearms needs to be higher to 1272, but 1236 is not bad. If you have any piece of gear that has the major role of it being firearm stamina or electronics, if you have any of those being in the 1100s, anything, let's just say anything under like 1250, not that good. 1236 is not too far off, and that's the best that I had, and so that's why I have these gloves and they work. I probably have a better pair in my stash, I just haven't swapped them out yet, as a matter of fact. But if you have 1100, they just aren't good enough. You need to re-roll that 1100 and get it closer to 1272. But then again, you need to have those major attributes to be the crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and assault rifle. Or you could have SMG if you want it, depending on what gun you want to roll with. And then lastly, again, the Nimble Holster. You do the cover to cover, you get some health. I sent you a video this morning on Xbox. I shared it with you in a message. Watch that video. This is the character I was playing with. This is the setup that I was using when I played on that video. And you could see towards the end, after I had one battle, I was hurting pretty bad, but I did a couple of cover to covers before I engaged where I was gonna engage somebody else. It doesn't show that part, but you can see how I got my health back just by doing the cover to cover. It's hard to do during battle, but I mean, some people do it. When you're trying to do that, they're shooting you still, so any cover, any health you get, you pretty much lose immediately once you hit. So that's the setup. Again, no gear set pieces were used, and you can see how that worked. I think that was a really good video I sent you on Xbox. So yeah, take a look at that in that message, because you can see, in the bottom left that I was putting down people. It said LT Wexler putting, has killed whatever. So this build works really good. And I talked about the guns. This is the build I talked with you about before I left. So I don't need to go over too much. But I'll show you on my Lavoa. So there's the mag, 120, 4% crit hit damage, 5.6 rate of fire. The best optics for Lavoas are these 5.52 hollow sights. You might get a pro red dot or a reflex that might be good. But the hollow sights seem to be really good on the Lavoas and the lightweight. That's what most people have. You can see mine is 7 crit hit chance, 4 crit hit damage, and 6% headshot damage. And then my break muzzle is a loud vent break, which is 19 crit hit damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 5/5 headshot damage. The only bad thing about the loud vent break is loud, and that increased threat, 43%, it draws more attention to you because it's not a suppressor. But I still roll with it. I think I do have a suppressor that I can swap out and use that has those same crit hit damage, chance, and headshot damage stats. Lastly, the grip. Usually you want a small grip, whether it be just a small grip or a small grip red, and that goes for your lightweights, your assault rifle, or your SMG. You can see I have 19 crit hit damage. The other things are a preference, optimal range, so you can shoot a little bit better further away, and stability because the Lavoa jumps, and so that's why I have that one up there. And then on my MP5, I got, now this one varies a little bit because you want to put more damage on this type of gun. So you can see my magazine is not the same as the other gun. It's a larger magazine, 119, but it has both crit hit chance and crit hit damage. So that's why my numbers are a little bit higher on this for the crit hit chance than on the other gun. The sight is a rugged mini sight. You can see this one's equal to the hollow that I had on the other one, 7.5, 6 headshot and 4 crit hit damage. And the muzzles for the submachine guns are usually this Tyrant suppressor, 7 crit hit chance, 4 crit hit damage, 6 headshot damage, and 41% reduced threat. And then again, here is a small grip. I only have 18% on this one. I have accuracy and reload speed. Usually for the SMGs, you want reload speed or whatever you prefer. Reload speed is good. Accuracy, you really don't need. They're already pretty accurate. And plus, you're only using it when you're in somebody's face. So, but that's that. Um, you can use a different mask. You don't have to use the Pharaohs. It's just when I made this build, the Seekers and the Flame Turrets were a real issue, and so that's why a lot of people had the Pharaohs. You could probably throw on a refreshed if you have one. I don't have one on this profile. The refresh works good. A must would be the gloves. The gloves make the build stronger because they give you that damage is increased by 16% when no set bonuses are active. So that gives you that extra damage. Um, the vest should be a vigorous to give you that overheal. But other than that, it's just a preference. So just take a look at the firearm, stamina, and electronic numbers up there, 72, 3300, and 4200. Those are kind of key as far as unlocking your talents on your guns. But otherwise, that's it for this video, man.